You know, I've told you guys in the past that oftentimes during a game that I'm pretty oblivious to what's going on around me, but tonight I thought our crowd was tremendous, and I really appreciate it. Really proud of our team. As you guys know, we've played about as poorly as we could play the last game out, and what we talked about was trying to get back to the things that we were doing earlier, and knew that we were playing against a young, outstanding team that's just going to keep getting better and has continued to get better, and had to work through some foul trouble, obviously, and changed up and went zone. But overall, really, I thought John Fulkerson, and hopefully this is going to get him jump started where he can help us, because we need him to help us. But James Daniel, Lamonte Turner, everyone had a huge part in the second half. I think one of the big stats that jump out to me is Schofield and Williams with 7 offensive rebounds, because I don't think in the first half they had any. And when they're doing that yeoman kind of work, that's when we are most effective.
I guess the obvious question, what was said at halftime? Was it normal kind of halftime routine, or was it something different?
It's pretty good, because you know what we talked about. We showed Coach Lanier did a good job putting up, because he scouted the game, 11 points that came off not following our scouting report, and that's what he showed. And you know they're terrific, unbelievably coached team, and they're going to make some baskets just like we make baskets. But you don't want them making the ones where we fail to execute our game plan, and that was pretty much what we talked about. So it wasn't anything special, just what we normally do, talking about where we let some things get away from us. So we turned it over trying to throw too many tough interior passes, but we did as good a job, and maybe this year the best job we've done in a long time, putting the ball inside, trying to play inside out. And Grant, hopefully tonight, learned that he can get deep post up if he's willing to fight for it. And he made some good passes out of the post. I thought we moved the ball well against the zone and man, and got some looks at it, especially in the second half.
Rick, do you think the loss to Auburn factored into this performance tonight?
No, I don't. Again, we talked about we got to worry about ourselves, and we didn't do that. We acted like a bunch of guys the other night, immature, that think that we can just show up and, had a big lead and think it's going to be easy. It's never going to be easy, and we got our butts kicked. And tonight we talked about we've got to get back to at least trying to just get our own self-respect back, because we didn't. I've said after that game, I didn't even know that team, and I was really disappointed. As disappointed as I was after that game, I'm probably as happy, and it's for the guys. I was disappointed with the guys, and I'm really happy for the guys, because they got it done after that game. They knew that they didn't live up to the standard they had started to create here, but they also tonight came out and I think held each other accountable and went at it. With Jordan Bone hadn't practiced since the Kentucky game, and came in today, tried to get lathered up a little bit, but could tell he wasn't very effective. And Jordan Bowden's still struggling a little bit, but he'll work through it. But early in the year, that's how it worked. We didn't worry about any one player in particular. We just felt like we had the depth and we could get to the bench and make some things happen. We didn't get that in the first half tonight, but the second half. And again, we consider Lamonte Turner and James Daniel starters. We could flip those guys at any point in time, but we needed John Fulkerson to do what he did. Now, he was really good in the high post. He can pass the ball. He can score the ball. And, again, hopefully this is something that can get him going.
Rick, what did you think of P.J. Washington's performance against Grant in the first half, and how much do you think him having to leave the game impacted it?
Well, I think all of it. I mean, you look at their team. I mean, Gabriel going out, because in the first half, his 9 points was a big issue that we talked about, because we know that they rely on him to stick those out there. And I thought early, and we told the team that P.J. Washington is a big-time player, and he can go score it. And in the second half, our whole deal was we were coming in there with as many people to shrink the court as we could. But, Diallo, I think, fouls hurt, just like we got fortunate. I mean, I, again, went against the grain a little bit. what we normally would do in terms of putting Grant Williams back. I think with 3 fouls early and going zone, we haven't done that. And one of the reasons I haven't played much zone, because we work on it, is that we're good against the zone. Our offense, and when we're in practice working on our zone and we keep scoring against it, I don't have a lot of confidence in it. And but we've been very good offensively against zones this year, and today it was good for us. And I thought we rebounded out of it better than I thought we could. But there's no doubt that P.J. Washington early in the game was just, I mean, he was a man, and they're just going up over top of us, and it was, those. Anytime you lose a key guy that you're planning on, it looked like they were really trying to use him to play through our front line. So yeah, I'm sure that's a big loss, obviously.
Coach, just can you touch on the guard play in the second half? Even with Jordan, your starting point guard played 2 minutes, and I think you had 11 assists, four turnovers, and only one of those came from the point guard spot.
Well, I thought Lamonte Turner really set a great tone for himself yesterday when we knew that Jordan Bone wouldn't practice those 2 days, but Lamonte came in and was really good in practice yesterday, really good, and James, both of them. I mean, those guys have made big plays for us at some point in time this year, and they really carried us tonight when you think about it. Jordan Bowden hasn't played well of late. He'll get it back. And, our front line got outplayed the other night. They stood up tonight and said, again, what was the final rebound? And 37-30, 12 offensive rebounds. And the other night we got our tails kicked on the glass. And so I'm happy for that. But our guards, I thought, really did a great job of getting the ball inside. And then Grant and they got it moving a few times. We got some pretty good looks by them making the extra pass.
Just the technical was the first one in Tennessee coaching about 6 or 7 years. What were the circumstances there, and just do you think it caused any kind of spark with the crowd or anything like that?
I thought he was upset with John, and after he called one on John, he called one on me because he called him on both of us. So you had to ask John. It was he got the official upset that he called. I don't know. I mean I don't even remember the play right now. I think I do, but I don't know. I don't know what now the box. I mean, again, this is a hard game to officiate. It is. I mean, I think this league has gotten so much better. It's competitive, but honestly, I don't know what I said. You get going right there sometime, and I don't know what. Did he call the technical on John? Did he? What was he doing? I don't.
Out of the box, he said.
Really? I don't think I was out of the box, was I? I don't know. I don't. I think he was. I get a little bit animated. I mean, they tell me a lot. Ask me to not talk with my hands and my arms, which I have a hard time doing that. But I think those guys. It's a very hard game to officiate, all of them, and but it happens, and I don't know what else I can say about it.
Rick, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's really been playing well in recent games, not well tonight. What did you get? What was the plan there? What was the deal?
Well, really, we're trying to, and I'm not taking away anybody, we're trying to get some consistency with what we're trying to do, and we knew, John is a terrific coach, and the way he's taken these guys and put them through where they are right now really is. I mean, again, I can't say enough about him, but his players, and they're different than the guys he's had in the past. They are. They're different. But what we wanted to do was try to keep the ball in front of us as much as we could. Wanted to try to, like anybody. I mean, we try to do that every game, but we didn't want to get stretched out too far because we respect their quickness. We expect the fact that they can throw it up over top, and we look to try to get a lot of help from a lot of different people. But I do think that we got a little bit more aggressive because, and we didn't foul as much, even though you look at it, we've been, how many fouls we have tonight? 16. I mean, we have fouled a lot in the past, and that's one thing we talked about. We wanted to try to play hard without fouling.
Are you surprised it's taken Fulkerson so long to show any signs of progress, and have you seen any before tonight?
Am I surprised? I really shouldn't be, but it's probably me being impatient because, a year ago he was a starter for us and everybody knows what he could do. But when you really think about it, he missed 10 months. I mean, he didn't miss 6 weeks, 8 weeks. I mean, he was out of action really for 10 months. And he's still rehabbing to some extent, trying to get his arm totally straight. But I told him at halftime, he was the one guy I said to him walking back through the tunnel, I said, John, man, you got to help us. You got to help us. And we got to get something from you. And I thought he had great demeanor. And his ball, he can really pass the ball. He really can. And, a year ago, he was the guy that you really counted to get 7, 8, 9 rebounds a game. And we need him to get back to doing that. And we need him. We need him. He's the one guy that could really help us continue to really improve.
Rick, when you say they're different than the guys Cal has had in the past, how so? How do you mean that?
Well, I mean, they're younger. I mean, you look at them, they got some guys that look, I mean, I look at their team, they reminded me of my team where they're not as big, as strong as some of his players that he's had in the past. But they still are. I mean Richardson and I'm telling you, PJ, Washington's a big boy. But they're long. They're really, really long. And that was a major concern for us. The very first play of the game, for instance, Grant he ducked in, but we're not going to be able to throw air passes into the post. They're going to reach around and get them from us. And that's why we got to play down below them and try to get that kind of post-up action. But I can tell you, I just think he's done, again, they're the youngest team in the country, and the way they've played and the way he's brought them along. And they will be one team that, as his teams always do, will keep getting better and better and better and better because they always do. And he'll have them where he needs them when it's time. Thank you, Coach. All right, thank you, guys.